Just a few months ago, at the end of 2019, I was getting ready to live my dream year. My small event business, which I started 8 years ago as a side gig, finally became successful enough to allow me to quit my full-time job. I felt completely liberated. The flexibility of being my own boss and the nature of my company allowed me to work remotely most of the time while being present sporadically every few months. Finally, I was going to be able to travel freely around the world while working on something I loved and cared about. For years, this was all I wanted. It truly felt like a dream come true. When all of a sudden,
breaking news tonight, the coronavirus outbreak declared a global pandemic, and now the extreme new measures in the U.S. Large events banned in Washington state and San Francisco. As U.S. cases rise over 1,000, the governor with a grim warning to anyone violating the order.
the pandemic hit. And just like that, I lost all of my income overnight. My upcoming trips got cancelled, and my future became completely uncertain. That's life. It happens. Change is inevitable. Sometimes it's constructive, but sometimes it's completely destructive. So the way I see it, I had two options. I could either sit there feeling sorry for myself, or I could accept whatever life throws at me, learn to adapt, and grow in a completely new direction. Here's where the ruthless laws of evolution apply. We can either resist change in vain, refuse to accept reality and become bitter by frustration, or we can adapt and survive. It's entirely our choice. I chose the latter, hence I'm here talking to you. But this is nothing new. You've heard this before many times. The kind of insight that I'm hoping to bring, however, is a bit different. My objective with this video is to inspire you to strategically adapt to change with optimism. There's no better time than a crisis to reinvent yourself and switch gears, but it's also a huge opportunity to embrace change and become part of the trend makers who will be responsible for redefining the major aspects of life moving forward. So, what is our biggest obstacle to making that happen? Well, I believe we're becoming lazy and weak, spoiled by technology and comfort, and entitled to a life of prosperity without bringing anything of value to the table. The main problem is our attitude, our mindset. Just like a wild animal raised in captivity becomes vulnerable if freed into its natural habitat because it has been fed and protected from dangers all of its life, we too have become frail and vulnerable to the hazards of sudden change. So how do we overcome that obstacle and become adaptable? By becoming light and agile, by letting go of the burdens that are holding us back, so we can embrace the opportunities that come with change. Think about it. If you want to become an athlete, but you're out of shape, what do? The first thing you do is getting rid of the poor habits that are making you fat and slow. But to change those habits, you first have to change your mindset. Because there's no point in changing your diet and your routine if you don't believe in it. It wouldn't be sustainable. Eventually, you would go back to the poor habits that got you out of shape to begin with. The same applies in life. First, you have to change your mindset. You have to believe that life can be lived differently and still be much better than it is now. You have to let go of the old expectations you had before and start to see things for what they could be instead. Once you change your mindset and truly believe in that possibility, you must let go of all the fat. What does this mean? Well, to be light and agile, you have to be as financially secure and independent as possible. Save as much as you can and get rid of expenses you don't need. Start with the obvious. Those things you never use and pay to store. Those needless comforts that bring no value to your life. Those things that are keeping you busy being lazy while everyone around you learns to struggle and innovate. Be honest and ruthless with yourself. In fact, at the end of this video, make a list. Challenge yourself to think of the first 5 things you want out of your life in the next week or 2. But that's the easy part. Sometimes it's not that obvious that you need to let some things go. In fact, the least obvious are not usually things in the first place. The hardest possessions you need to let go are habits, ideas, expectations, and hopes that will no longer serve you in this new reality to which you're struggling to adapt. More importantly though, very often, these possessions are not bad, harmful, or unpleasant. To the contrary, they usually bring you comfort, joy, and protection. Which is why it is so hard to let them go. Just as a hermit crab must shed its shell, that which protects it from predators and dangers, in order to be able to grow, so must we let go of our metaphorical shells in order to embrace change and grow, in order to become light and adaptable. So ask yourself, what is your shell? If you want to adapt and grow, you have to get out of your comfort zone. As an immigrant, I had to learn this lesson the hard way. I decided to leave my country, my culture, my language, and the love of my family behind. But when I first left, I didn't let go. For a long time, I resisted change, often subconsciously, even though I was no longer there. I didn't want to accept my new reality. Even though it was my own choice to come here, I couldn't adapt. I had to embrace change. But to do that, I first had to let go of the burdens of the past. I had to become light, to learn how to be adaptable. Finally, there's one last thing you need to know. Don't ever get too comfortable in your new reality, because adaptation is a process that never stops. Because change is constant and inevitable. Letting go is the most natural process of life. You see, throughout your entire existence, you will partake in the act of letting go over and over and over again. Sometimes you won't even notice it. And sometimes it will be inconceivably painful. From worthless objects to your most treasured souvenirs. From mundane habits to profound ideologies. And from forgettable acquaintances to your dearest loved ones. You must let go. And then one day, whether you're ready or not, you'll be confronted by the ultimate act of letting go. Letting go of life itself. Life is about learning to let go, not to hold on. You won't take anything to the grave anyway, so why waste life holding on to the past? The sooner you realize that, the sooner you will become adaptable to your surroundings. And you will capitalize on the one thing you do have while you're alive. Time. Hey there, thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. If you're new to the channel, we're Disruptive Consensus, a blog in English y en Español, and our mission is to create inspiring, educational, and entertaining essay-style content in audio, video, and text about ideas to address the current challenges facing society and the individual, in order to foster an optimistic vision for the future. The video you just watched is part of our series Redefining Your Relationship with Money, Time, and Consumption, Lessons from a Value-Rich Life. Our aim is to try to do about 2 videos a month. Right now we're working on this series, but we will be putting content on different topics here and there. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. It really does help. And also, if you want to follow us, our website is www.disruptiveconsensus.com. It's the easiest way to find all of our content all in one place. So again, thanks for watching till the end, and hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.